Have you noticed something strange? That almost everyone seems to have some sort of health issue, hormone issues, depression, anxiety, digestive problems, autoimmune problems, the list goes on and on. It's almost as if meeting someone healthy is like an anomaly now. So, has it always been this way? Well, I delved into some of the research and the numbers suggest otherwise. In fact, today, 6 in 10 Americans have a chronic disease, and 4 in 10 have multiple chronic diseases. It's also estimated that 2.1 million Americans will be diagnosed with cancer in 2026, and that is just in 1 year. Furthermore, 1 in 6 are on antidepressant medication. These aren't just statistics, they're our friends, our neighbors, our family, and maybe even us. So what happened? Have humans just suddenly become much weaker over the last 100 years, even over the last decades? Or has something happened in the environment that's changed so drastically that humans have not been able to adapt? Look, this video is not intended to scare people. It's to make people more aware and to know that there is actually things that we can do to reduce our chances of getting sick. 100 years ago, our biology was pretty much identical. We haven't really evolved much during that time. But what has changed is basically everything about the way that we live, what we're eating. Pretty much everything has changed. We are eating more artificial food. We spend 90% of our time indoors, living in an artificial environment under artificial lights, eating artificial food, exposing ourselves to thousands of artificial chemicals every day. It's the chronic stress. It's the increased time of just sitting on our bottoms, working, slaving away. As they say, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts. It's not just the seed oils or just the sugar or sitting for too long or not getting enough exercise. It's so many of the things to do with modern life that when they combine have a massive impact on our health and well-being. I'm not trying to say that how we are living now and the health problems that we are suffering from is way worse than what people used to die from, because that's, a whole other story. So many more children died when they were young, and a lot more people died from infections. And even those two things alone drastically reduce the life expectancy, the average life expectancy. So the reasons why people are dying today were entirely different to how people used to die. We are living a lot longer than we used to. That is clear. But we're living longer with chronic diseases, with anxiety, depression, diabetes, heart disease, and all those other wonderful things. One of the most important things that we can do to live a healthy, happy life is to make sure that we are getting the nutrients that we need to help fight off disease. We need vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, healthy fats to produce hormones for almost everything that we need down to a cellular level. And in fact, if we have nutrient deficiencies, it can make us overeat. And I do think that's part of the reason why we have an obesity epidemic. The cravings are not simply just because people have poor willpower. It's more actually about your body trying to get the nutrients that it actually needs, but not finding them. And next is to really think about where our food is coming from and how it is grown. Now, when you think about how the food in our supermarket is sprayed with multiple pesticides and herbicides that are meant to kill insects, weeds, and animals, and then we eat it, that is going to have a massive impact on us as well. I know many people and even dietitians say that these poisons are actually completely fine for us to eat. But how can it be when it's killing all of these other things? One of the biggest problems with these sprays is it's actually destroying our gut health. It's killing the healthy bacteria that help us be healthy, that help us digest our food, that help create the nutrients for us to be able to absorb the nutrients that we eat, for DNA repair and all of that sort of stuff. Getting the right nutrients is imperative for hormone production, for energy production, for immune function, DNA and cell repair. Most of the foods that we're eating today do not contain adequate nutrient levels. And in fact, a lot of the time our guts are so compromised, they're not even absorbing many of the nutrients that we are eating. And that is why it is so important to look after your gut health. It's not just about being constipated or having IBS. Your gut health affects everything. I've got a number of videos about how to improve your health and about gut health specifically. So if you can't find them, send me a message and I will shoot through the link. Anyways, I hope you found at least one thing interesting or you learned something from this video, and I hope to see you again soon.